Hi everybody, welcome to the Scott Show. This is Scott here, and we are on the 435 Politics Show, talking politics, talking about the week that was and is politics, and wow, it's just crazy. You know, we live in a crazy world, folks, and I have looked up the site that talks about all about politics and what we're doing, what we're talking about, and my mind is still blown on the fact that things in this country happen the way it does. So I'm going to go through just a few things on this list of things that have happened. This is from NPR. And I just want to give a big shout out. Actually, it's from KPCC. And I think it's partially having to do with NPR. But I just want to give a shout out to all the people who put together these little news things, so I can talk about it here on the show and have a really good discussion. As I hope that you guys will comment, like, share, subscribe, do all the things you have to do to make things happen here on the Scott Show podcast, the 435 Politics channel. We're always having fun, always having a good time with this. So, folks, we're talking about the Values Voters Summit in D.C., where Steve Bannon spoke and talked about going to war with the GOP establishment. And it just boggles my mind that this guy, who got a thumbs down the other day, by the way, from the Scott Show podcast, Wake Up Call, which happens every morning at 8 o'clock, how he's planning on going to war with the GOP establishment. He already technically won, and yet he still wants to go to war with people that just don't agree 100% with his positions. And what are they? I don't understand him a lot. So if you guys have any theories or possibilities on what exactly Steve Bannon is, as far as what he stands for and stuff like that, give me a shout out. And I know that people are going to say hatred and bigotry and racism and all that other stuff, but I'm talking about besides that. So there have been questions about the governor's race in Virginia. Now, there are two governor's races on tap for this election cycle, the 2017 cycle, and that is in New Jersey, and that is also in Virginia. And the New Jersey one looks like it's going to come right down to the wire. The Virginia one, there seems to be some issues there, and I'm not exactly sure. I haven't read too much on that. And what exactly the issues are, but I'm sure that we can always find out, folks. And as we go to the Google machine, here we go. So Ed Gillespie, the Republican nominee for Virginia governor, deployed just about every tactical move that he had learned in a lifetime of politics as he dodged questions from President Trump. This is from the New York Times Post on the race. So it is Ed Gillespie, who I believe used to be involved in the GOP leadership, if I am correct, and the Lieutenant Governor Ralph Northam is the opponent. So there you go, folks. So that's what we got going on in Virginia for the governor's race. And that's going to be a barn burner right there. I know Ed Gillespie is very popular there. So, folks, what we're going to do today is we are going to go through just some of the stuff that's happening. Like I said, the Virginia governor's race is kind of big. The New Jersey governor's race is big. Chris Christie's not running again. So God only knows what he'll do. And so, yeah. That's what we do here on the 435 Politics channel. Now, Gillespie and Northam in the Virginia governor's race, dead tie. And then the Hill is saying that the Democrat leads by 14. So, who is right on that? I don't know, folks, but it looks like it could be anywhere from 14 to a dead tie. And in New Jersey, Guadagno trails Murphy by 14 in that race, and it is Kim. It's the lieutenant governor, who I cannot say what her last name is. I'll probably figure it out later. And Phil Murphy. Those are the two people running for the New Jersey governor's race. I'm honestly kind of surprised Cory Booker didn't run for it, but it just happens, folks. And those are the two races big time in 2017. Let's not forget the Alabama Senate race, where we have a very important race between Judge Roy Moore and his opponent in there, and I totally forgot what his name was. But I haven't been following what the race is so far. Okay, let's see. It is Doug Jones. I'm so sorry to Doug Jones' campaign. I'm up here in Minnesota, so I'm very sorry. But Doug Jones and Roy Moore are going to be facing off in the special election for Alabama for the Senate seat. It's really interesting, folks. We're just, we're a few short weeks away from having a new Alabama senator and a new governor in Virginia and in New Jersey, as well as local politics, as me and Joel talked about on the local show, or on the politics show that we talk local, and then the Minnesota governor's race. City council and school boards coming up, and it all starts with local races, folks. It all starts local. So check it out. We got that live here on the Scott Show podcast in the archives of the 435 Politics. We are actually going to be debuting upcoming here in probably a few hours to a few days. Brand new things for the 435 Politics channel. It's going to be our own page that we're going to have. We're going to have a list of all 435 House of Representative members, because the plan with 102550 is to have one person per district. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get that done here relatively soon. And folks, I am really super excited that this is going to happen. So there you go. We are looking forward to all the great things that we can do here at the 102550 Homeless Project, including getting the job done, ending homelessness, and getting the politicians to realize what we're doing. And that's what we're doing here today. So, folks, we got some other stuff going on here as well. Jeff Flake is running for re-election. He has an opponent on the Republican side who I can't remember. I think it's Kelly Ward, but if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. And then the winner of that will face off against the Democratic candidate, which right now Kristen Sinema is running, and she actually spoke here in Duluth, Minnesota. A few years ago, I had the opportunity to hear her, and she is brilliant, folks. She will do amazing things. So definitely check her out. Arizona Senate race, and it could be Jeff Flake or it could be Kelly Ward. Now, Rex Tillerson responded to questions about the IQ thing, but he's been kind of fighting back. He's actually a lot smarter than people give him credit for. He's trying to just say, hey, we're not talking about IQ tests, we're talking about the country, and I think that the media has gotten too far with that, so there you go. Now, Trump decertified the Iran nuclear deal. Congress has 60 days to decide on next steps. I think what's happening here is the things Trump does not like is getting railroaded to the Congress, so then the Congress can look bad and Trump doesn't look as bad. So, whatever works. Trump and healthcare, I think that we'll have our own little podcast about that one of these days, because honestly, it just makes me upset. NAFTA is going to, renegotiations for that is not looking good, folks, so we might have some issues with NAFTA coming up here. Never been a big fan of the North American Free Trade Agreement, but we'll just see what happens there. And in the last little part here, from our good friends at KPCC, California Senate Leader Kevin Leone announced that he will run against incumbent Dianne Feinstein for her U.S. Senate seat. Of course, Dianne Feinstein is in her 90s, so there you go. Does he have a shot? Will this move splinter the California Democratic Party? I don't think it will, and I don't think it's going to hurt too bad. I think California is heavily Democratic. Do I think he has a shot? Yes. I think that he has a shot. I think that people want to see change. I would not be surprised, folks, to see Kevin Leon win against Dianne Feinstein. Dianne Feinstein has been there for a really, really long time. And is it time for a change? It could be. It could be Kevin's time. So, folks, that is the things that were on the site for the Week in Politics. I figured I would get on the podcast, talk about a little bit. Now, I do invite you guys to ask questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to about the 435 Politics Show. We do this. We actually do not have a set day to do the Politics Show, but we will set up something soon. And anytime we get guests, we just go with them anyway. So, we are going to head out of here, folks. This is Scott with the Scott Show. You guys have a great day. Maestro, kick up some tunes.